Oh, what is up, you guys? My name is Blizzard1, and welcome back to Changeling Tale! We're back into it yet again with Grace's chapter. As you can see by the Thiel here, I've already actually went through the not safe for work portion of it to get to Grace's next segment. I did go off and went ahead and got the ending I had originally had for Marion's ending, which had given me her little dealie. I got the ending where he proposed to her, and she, at the end of it, shows her knitting the little thing. But we are gonna go ahead and get some. We're gonna go finish out Grace's ending, and hopefully we'll get the little dealie there. And then we depending on how long that is, depends on what else I do in this episode. But we are gonna continue on where I left off after the not safe for work portion of it. So this won't. Hopefully, if it doesn't go into too much, I might have to censor out some Loch Ness titties or something like that, but we shall see. Grace rolls over, tipping me off her body. I begin to tread water to keep afloat. It's not just that there is a red flag, it's that she is the red flag. A signal of all danger to come, all that I can't control, all that I could be taken from me. She is my temptress, my lure away from all that is safe. The unmistakable siren that Douglas warned me about. If I commit to staying with her now, there's nothing left except for me to drown. Drown in a sea of grace. She's so beautiful, though. She looks out and away. I watch her gaze go to the opening of the lock, to the one spot she can disappear, maybe for good. Beyond where the ocean lies, dark clouds peek out from behind the mountains. A storm is brewing. I need some time alone. Time? Please, don't leave right now. I need you. She rests her flippers on my shoulders and looks me dead in the eye. You don't need me, Malcolm. You never did. I start to protest, but I am out of words, out of excuses, pleas, out of patience and energy. I can't beg anymore, Grace. Goodbye, Malcolm. She lets my limp body go. I kick to keep myself above water. The lock now feels harshly chill against my skin. It's getting harder to breathe. The sound of the water splashing sends my mind reeling. Am I hearing her or my arms as I whack hard on the lock's surface? I'm struggling to keep above water now. Gone are all my natural swimming abilities. Something has taken over. My chest tightens, and as I feel my limbs go numb, I can't stop myself from calling her back. My instinct is to beseech her. I do need her. I notice I'm clinging to her sash, wringing the soaking wet silk in my tight fists. I scream at the top of my lungs, Grace, come back! But she is gone, out through the lock into the open water. All I hear is the echo of my own voice as the cold sets in. Oh, that's still hard. There it is. Chapter 5, Put to Sea. Okay, I see now. This is the true Chapter 5. Ah, you guys are good. Malcolm. I don't remember the voice I gave Douglas. Malcolm, me lad. Quit floating there like a limp flatfish and grab hold. I barely hear the piece together the words before something comes crashing down beside me, sending up a massive spray of water. The oar misses my head by inches. Hold on till I gather the net. Jolted out of my cold-induced stupor, I do as ordered, clinging to the paddle as my fingers and biceps tighten and the rest of me goes slack. Water continuously splashes over my eyes and nose like being pelted with wintry snowballs. I'll never take the summer heat for granted again. Take it! A large rope net lands atop me, but I'm scared to let go of the oar. My strength is waning, and I worry I may sink. Go limp, all of you! I got you, Malcolm! With a deep breath, I submit, letting go to the oar and allowing my body to drop down beneath the lock's surface. Hello. Fished out of like a common pollock, I'm hoisted up into the air. My body lands with a thud inside Douglas's skiff. A sharp impact to my hip has never been more welcome. Strong arms untangle the wrap me in a sodden burlap bags. A heavy fur blanket is laying atop the sacks. They're damp, I know, near wet as you, but they'll bring your temperature back up slowly. The pelt will insulate you. Take slow breaths, lad. You'll survive. I nod silently, with neither the will nor energy to speak, to agree, shivering, soaked with, and swaddled in a heap of fish-scented burlap. The reality of my pitiful condition has set in. Part of me believes Grace won't return this time. She left me here to drown. No, how would she know that the water's glacial freeze would affect me so? Without her here to protect me, and she must have seen Douglas's approach. Grace wouldn't act with callous intent, I remind myself, although I could hardly blame her if she did. Not after the way things were left between us. Douglas starts paddling towards shore. That is fucking awesome! Every time I see the subtle animations and stuff like this, I think back to, I don't remember if it was I think it was that said that they'd love to do more animation type of stuff, but they just didn't have this. I don't remember exactly how I put it. I could be putting it out of order, so I apologize what's up if I say it wrong. But you guys told me that it's like you were afraid you weren't able to do stuff like this. This is it's so subtle and it's so good. The layers upon layers of how it's done, it works just fine. It looks so good. You can tell he's rowing. It doesn't have to be like complete gigantic redonkulous type of animation. It could just be something subtle, and it is amazing. It fits to the scene, it fits to the art style, it fits so freaking good. I apologize I keep going off on rants about this, but as I've said several times when it comes to this game, I love it to bits. I've been playing it for so damn long that, I mean, hell, you guys ask for more of it. You guys have literally asked that you want to see some more endings and stuff like that, so I'm gonna give it to you. I mean, I love this game to bits. I was gonna seek out the rest of the endings anyway, even if some of the endings and some of the stuff is gonna go about a different way than I normally would play a game. I mean, hell, it takes me forever to try and play anything in a bad way. I can't even trying to play back when Fable was a thing. Trying to play Fable as an evil was so hard for me to do because I just couldn't do it. I'm such a nice dude. Well, at the most part. When it comes to fictional characters, I'm a nice dude. Anyway, towards the shore with such force that I worry I fly out of the boat and land back where I started. Ah, lad, you're lucky I was as close as I were. And what I saw, I tell you, boy, I seen more than I care to admit. Oh, you saw my little coitus there with Grace, eh? Despite the shivers, my cheeks still managed to go warm. You shan't be the faintest bit surprised that this is what happened to you and where you ended up. Where I've ended up? Dejected, rejected, and returning to shore? Maybe Grace is right. Maybe it's not meant to be. But I can't let this end be how it ends. Not with both of us leaving so hurt. My eyes fall on Grace's yellow sash still tangled around my arm, and I find the strength to speak. We have to turn this boat around. My mind can't control itself, nor my heart. Even facing the dangers of the open water, my heart yearns to heal any wrongdoing on my part. I am desperate, but hopeful. Lad, get out of my face. She be faster than a slippery otter. You're out of your mind. Douglas, listen to me. She's all I've got. My desperation sounds miserable when I speak it aloud. I'm more than my attachment to Grace, aren't I? I must be. But I don't recognize any of it now. After years of desolation and misery, she has been the one light in my life, the one who made me feel alive, needed love, no matter how she looked. Exactly! Ah, I love this game so much. I still want her. I want us. Please, I beg you. We can still find her. Catch her before she's gone out to sea. Calm yourself, boy. She's long gone. You have to let her go. What? What's for ye? What's for ye? You foolish. Foolish what, lad? Tell me. He doesn't wait on any response. You gotta look after yourself, Malcolm Campbell. You, first. Never let another person, or, God forbid, a fish, be what pulls your strings. You'll be a puppeter for life. His words catch me off guard. Oh, my nose is just a puppet. Aye, look at the ridiculous sash wrapped around your arm. She's already bound you, and I have seen what grace can do with strings. Is that what's happening? Have I given up my identity for her? Enough so that I'm willing to risk my life, my sanity, to be together, to make her stay with me? I say nay on that persnickety, foul-mouthed infant of a vilipist, leaving you stranded like a discarded marionette. Leave her to the depths of the deepest, darkest seas to find another victim. A hard slap comes down on my shoulder between strokes. My frame shakes beneath his heavy, calloused palm. Douglas's pat, rough though it may be, seems to be an attempt to placate me, perhaps even to cheer me, or let me know he sympathizes with my brooding. I won't tell you that you're better off without her, but I shan't stop myself from telling you what I won't say. I shan't stop myself from telling you what I won't say. What? Just look at you, wrapped in a hideous sex, reeking of fish. That's all that the beastie did for you. I'm taking you home now. You sleep. You need sleep. Lots of it. Warm blankets, warm bath, and a cold bed. Take a few days to clear your head. There's a stillness in my core, even as my teeth chatter. What the hell is up in my freaking... my freaking sweats. My torso shakes alongside. There's no point of me that can or wants to compose myself. You hear me, lad? Malcolm. So how did this come to be? My life being saved yet again. To what end? Malcolm, can't you even save yourself? I can't keep paddling thinking you lost your marbles altogether. Tell me you understand. Oh, frickin' dick-a-lick a bing ding dong. It's a fucking choice path. Sure, why not? I sit sullen like a punished child, which is exactly how I believe I ought to be treated. I've nearly lost all my words. But I swallow to find an answer. And I understand. Douglas nods gruffly, then goes silent as he rows us home. I keep my eyes shut, focusing on the sound of working oars to keep my mind from drifting into dangerous waters. Eventually, the rhythmic splashing gives way to lapping waves as we glide in towards the shore. Back on dry land again. Douglas carefully takes my hand and pulls me to standing. He peels the pellets and sacks from my shivering body as he helps me put off the boat. That's it, Mr. Campbell. Easy now. You're back on solid land. I barely hear his assurances. My ears still ring with the words I spoke and didn't speak to Grace out of fear. Is there really no repairing the damage I've caused? What's there to even prepare when she's gone from my life? Our last encounter may haunt me for days, months, years, and I don't know who or what to curse. Blaming someone, something, some source would help immeasurably. But I've no one to blame but myself. Not since arriving home from the war have I felt so lost and alone, so under the control of others. Oh, what mayhem has come to me, being left to my own devices. Come, lad, let's get you home. Douglas wraps both his jacket onto my shoulders and my arm around my neck and my back. Reluctantly, I turn back to the lock and let him to lead me up the path to the farm. My mouth does not want to word. Okay, just making sure the audio is actually still going here. I know it's super low, and I always have to turn it up in post. Yeah, let's turn it up a little bit there. Okay. I'm alright from here. There's a storm a brewing, boy. I'm going to see to your door. I want to make sure you're a roaring fire and a hot meal. You need both. The desire to fight, to argue, to convince him otherwise is gone. There's more of me that wants a companion than doesn't. My legs move from memory over effort. When we reach the door, I stop, hesitant to be seen Gran in this state. I think you meant by seen by Gran in this state. That's alright. It's cool. Like I say, grammatic errors are always fine. I'm in no mood to put on a brave face, nor even an artificial smile, much less to explain why the town's fishmonger has escorted me home. But before I can protest, he opens the door and guides me inside. Ah, nice warm fire. Oh, look at how cozy this looks. Oops, I accidentally clicked. Is Gran sleeping? By luck, Gran is nowhere to be seen. Loud snores announce her afternoon nap time, and Douglas stokes the dying fire quietly so as to not wake her. I lay down myself in front of the fireplace as he feeds the blaze, adding more logs. The flames thaw my body, if not my soul. As I feel blankets, dry ones, this time, being set atop me. Fear, disappointment, rage, and exhaustion all fuel me, but my muscles and spirit remain immovable. Hello. Through heavy-lidded eyes, I see Douglas standing over me. Oh, I gotta hide that because that might be a thumbnail right there. Oops. Stay here, I'll make some tea. As the storm rages on in my mind, a question emerges from my cloudy thoughts. What has a fool like me done to deserve such kindness and care? I begin to realize that if Douglas is willing to do all this for someone he barely knows, someone who is in love with a creature he himself despises, then Douglas will be a good man for Marion. Buried under the bushy beard and salty sailor facade, he truly has a heart to match hers, not to mention a doting touch to match Gran's, and a selflessness that rivals. I feel a pang of nostalgia. Douglas reminds me more of my grandfather than any other man I've met. He sets down a fresh steaming pot of tea and dons his jacket once more. I should go before the weather breaks loose, and before I wake your gran. I'll let you speak to your hijinks, not I. Stay here, Malcolm. Stay safe. Let time pass. It will give you time to think. He walks to the door and turns to say one more thing. I may not have good words to say about your baby Villafeast, but I care about you, Malcolm. Please care for yourself. That's such a good man. Like, seriously, he's such a good dude. Can I click on anything up here? No, I better not, because if I do, I'm going to progress the story. So, as the door closes behind him, I stifle my cries, my desire to shout my thanks, or to shout my demand that he help me find Grace. Whoopsies. Shit, I'm knocking over a freaking lighter. Get back up there. The desire to beg and plead will return soon, and I can only hope he will concede, or at least understand. Oh, is this how I get the sail off with a different sister achievement? Every inch of me aches as I sit up to pour the tea. Flames flicker their inexplicable pattern as I gaze at the fireplace's reflection in the liquid, focusing on it, stilling my thoughts. My palms, chapped from ice and wind, cradle the teacup as I try to listen to my own voice. You are home, Malcolm. You are safe. The tea ripples between my trembling hands, forming tiny concentric circles. They're no different from the ripples Grace creates, just exponentially smaller. Baby Villafeast. Indeed, I don't know what Grace is, but she's not a baby anything. She's the largest living thing I've ever seen. The question remains why. Magic and my own apparent complicity aside, what made Grace specifically this way? Was it fate? Serendipity? Sheer force of will? If I could will my idea into reality, I suppose I'd simply put on some muscle and stay young forever. I never dreamed of scales and fins. I dream of fur and a maw. And a beautiful big bushy red tail. Scales and fins, but maybe I should have had I but known those would be turn out to be requisites for everlasting love. God, what is with me in reading stuff weird sometimes? Just the ability to breathe underwater. Maybe that would have been my miracle. I sip my tea, imagining every opportunity that could have saved both Grace and me, no matter how far-fetched, for I know full well that it is too late, and I must move on sooner rather than later. But for now, I drink and ponder. I inhale the hot smoke coming out of the hearth, and reminisce about better days, my thoughts wandering again to when Grace and I had a future. Eventually, no more liquid pours forth from the pot of tea. Instead of feeling invigorated, I'm left only feeling more exhausted. Droplets begin to patter against the window. The tempo quickens, and before long, the rain is washing down in buckets. Douglas must have a mariner's intuition because he was right about the storm. I hope he's made it home safe as well. Despite his refusal to go after Grace, he's now done more for me than he can ever know. Malcolm. Oh God, Agnes, I haven't done her voice in so long! The soft voice shakes me back into reality. Are you alright? You look wet. Oh God, I was on page 7. It was the lock. I fell in the lock. I'm fine, Gran, just drying off. Got a wee bit out by the lock. Or a bit wet out by the lock. The lock? Is that where you rushed off to? Why? There was something Grace needed to show me. Douglas, too. Nothing you need to worry about. I'm offered a suspicious look from the caring soul who wants to, but dare not dig deeper with questions. I see. How about a stiff brew? You're back in time for afternoon tea. Let me make it for you, Gran. Sit. I'm not infirmed. I'll make a full kettle for us to share. Part of me prefers to wither the rest of the day away in bed, but for Gran's sake and my own, I choose not to be alone. It's a good idea. I've just finished off a pot on my own, but I'll sit and join you. Always happy to be by your side. She comes up to me, draping her arms around my waist in a needed embrace. A much needed embrace. I love you, Malcolm. I love you too. Gran releases me and winks, but if not tea, then how about a drum of whiskey? You really do know the best. Yeah, let's get drunk! Fuck yeah! Aww, that was a sadder ding-dong dingly-dong. Okay, let's count the sunrises. There's one. Is it just one day? Okay, the next day. Cool. Yesterday's rain has ceased and the sun's returned. Still, I feel gloomy. Well, I would too, dude. After a night of harsh dreams and restless sleeps, the sounds and smells of the market feel entirely too cheerful. I load groceries onto Hazel's cart, wishing I could also unload some painful memories. Aw, hey Hazel. Depression feels so much worse than when you're surrounded by smiling faces. Is this how you feel all the time, Hazel? The mayor sighs in exhausted agreement. Misery loves company. My eyes drift to the sign hanging over the door to the Stag and Nail. There's a place for malcontents like us. It's called a pub. Too bad they don't serve horses. Hazel's whinny sounds like a cry of despair. I know. It's one of the life's many injustices. Tell you what, though. Why don't I go inside and put a good word in for you with Bulgar? Hazel stares at me nonplussed. She may not understand my words, but she can read when I'm about to leave her for a few mind-clearing drinks. Don't give me that look. My girlfriend just left me right after turning into an enormous sea serpent, no less. I think I could use a drink more than you. Don't you fucking agree, people out there on the internet? With a huff and an eye roll, Hazel lets me know she couldn't disagree more. Did she have a tear? Hold on. Did Hazel just have a tear in her eye? Oh my god, she has a tear in her eye. What the fuck? That's such good detail. I know I'm gushing about the game. I don't care. Shut up. As my eyes adjust to the dark scene, I find the Stag and Nanny bustling with locals and newcomers alike, all looking for the libation before heading home from the market. The pub master weaves and spins his way through the crowd, exchanging empty mugs for full tankards in a well-choreographed dance. There'll be no time for one of Bulgare's man-to-man talks on affairs of the heart today. It is just as well. I don't think I'm ready to bring up such a subject quite yet. I claim for myself a lonely corner away from the crowd. It's not long before I'm discovered. Malcolm, me lad, at long last, I have not seen you in ages. What brings you to your home away from home? I reach out for a handshake, but find a fresh draft pressed into my palm instead. I was in town for market day, and I thought I'd say hello. I've seen enough despair etched into a man's face to know when I visit to the Stag and Nanny isn't just a social call. Don't worry, lad, I won't pry unless a new barrel of whiskey needs opening. Thank you, Bulgare. It looks like you'll go through more than a few battles with this crowd. Aye, they're a thirsty bunch. Bulgare leans in and lowers his voice, nodded toward a group of old men near the piano, and the buttons of their fancy jackets undone to let their bellies out. And for those jackals, that's about the only good thing I've got to say about them. Glancing over my glass, I size up half a dozen or so men. They're keeping themselves and the pub's other patrons seems to be giving them a wide berth. They're awfully well dressed for jackals. I don't recognize this bunch. Are they from out of town? Taxmen, lad, sent from Digwell to update their not-so-grand list of properties and values that's fine market day. As if we Auchnacarage streets have paved in gold. I just about choke on my drink. The gold. Oh, fuck, the gold! It's still on our hidden beach, unless some lucky soul stumbled upon it and whisked it away. Aye, 'tis a sorry affair indeed, and the Stag and Nanny surely quite square in their sights. But you needn't worry about me. Old Bulgare still got a few tricks up his sleeve. Tricks? He shrinks back as if realizing he's said too much. The Stag and Nanny operates entirely above board, of course. Let's just say I've learned a few things about having healing audits in my soldiering days. Is that so? I don't remember my own soldiering duties involving much accounting. Ah, don't be so literal, lad. You know how it be. The officers, they like to conduct snap inspections to find out what spoils the men have liberated and seize it for themselves. So the boys in my section became proficient at the concealment and exchange of valuables. I could scarcely believe my ears. Honest. Bulgare, involved in shady business. Revelations aside, might he know someone who could convert Grace's treasure into proper sterling? Valuables, you say? Like gold? Bulgare's normally cheerful face goes pale, and I immediately regret asking. Lord have mercy, no. Our lads liberated wine, whiskey, and odd suckling pig. Others may have dealt in more criminal enterprises, but our unit never stooped so low. His eyes narrow. It might be better off if I don't know what you'd ask, eh? Maybe not have said too much, but Bulgare already knows Grace's secret, and therefore fortune sitting on the side of the lock, I can't exactly move on my own. I carry on with a hushed tone. A mutual friend has left us a gilded gift from the bottom of the sea. Bulgare's eyes grow wide. You know about? I nod. And she found a... I nod again. Ha! I should have known you and Grace would be as thick as thieves. Sunken cuts himself off and looks around before continuing in a quieter voice. Sunken treasure, cravens. She's certainly put her talents to good use. Aye, but we can't exactly go trading gold for groceries, can we? Especially when the likes of them are on the prowl. Both of us gaze towards the taxman, and it seems Bulgaris gasps at the dilemma. Grasps. After a moment, he turns back to me and conspiratory look in his eyes. I'll let you know on a secret, lad. But breathe not a word to this to others. I think I know someone who can help. Bulgair's eyes fog over and look of someone peering into the past. I served with a man who once was on terms with the Glastig. A Glastig? A what? A Glastig boy. A Magding Guren. A green maiden. Didn't your mother read your ballads as a wee barn? Am I the only one in town not versed in Galdum's myths and superstitions? I murmur his half apology that let him continue. They were friends? Not mere friends, boy. Lovers destined to be married. But his voice is already killing my throat. And I'm almost out of tea. Shit. I might need a refill before the next video. I trashed it also. Bugger, quit serving nonsense to your patrons and serve us some drinks. The impatient shout is followed by a chorus of agreement. Aye, not fraternizing, pour us another round. Keep your bridges on, lads. On the next round will be on you. The room erupts into laughter and jibes. Bulgaria offers me an apologetic shrug. What was I going on about? Someone marrying a Glastic. Bulgaria turns deep red and begins to back away. Oh, seems all Bulgaria's gotten carried away again. Such a silly tale. Anyway, never you mind. If you excuse me, I must be seeing to the customers. It's you, isn't it? Bulgaria, what about the... I urgently gesture my hands in the imaginary treasure chest. Oh, aye. Bring it to me after closing. It'll be safe here. We'll have it changed in no time, like magic. Ow. Bulgaria disappears into the crowd, leaving me bewildered and alone. What did any of that have to do with gold? I don't know. I apologize. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I down the rest of my drink, resigned to the fact that not much seems to make sense anymore. Not since I set foot back in Knockgrej, at least. Nose itches. As I make my way to the exit of the Stag and Nanny, I reflect that at least, how I came for. Strong drink and distraction. I leave feeling less distraught, but more confused. A fair exchange, I think. Another day, another down. Okay, another day, another dollar. Wait, it went to night. Oh, I guess Hazel pants and strains as the harness pulls a much heavier load than she's accustomed to along the dark road. With aching muscles to match, I sympathize. It took most of the afternoon to unstack and restack the hefty bullion into her cart. It took even more effort to sneak out of and convince Hazel to come to town again in the dead of night, but after making a few promises, she conceded. I pull at the reins when we reach the shadowed cranny behind the Stag and Nanny. It's far enough, love. Hazel stops, sighing with relief, and looks at me as if reminding her I owe her. I produced a carrot from my coat pocket. Don't you worry, Al. You'll have all the carrots you could ever want when this is done, just like I promised. Ignoring the carrot, the mare stares piercingly at me through the darkness. Aye, a palace of a stable, too. Hazel awaits for me to continue. Complete with a newfangled air conditioning, I didn't forget. I love Hazel. Satisfied, she takes the carrot and at last nibbles on it merrily. The horse knows how to drive a hard bargain. She's fucking downright extortion. She's a horse. I can't wait to see if they actually do what I think they're gonna do with Hazel, but we'll fucking find out. I hear that Hazel's going to be a dateable past. She turns into a person? I don't remember. I heard rumors about what people want to see, but we'll see. There should be no prying eyes at this hour, but I conduct a careful reconnaissance nonetheless before knocking on the back door of the pub. I really hope that would be on the left side. Welcome, me boy. I was sure if you'd really show up. Thought you might be pulling me leg. So just look for yourself. I guide Bulgaria to the chest and open the lid. Even in the dark of night, the pub owner's face is lit up with the golden sheen. He stares at the treasure with his mouth open as wide as the chest itself. Have you truly not stolen it? I'm not that kind of barkeep, lad. Nay, it's been seized from some people long removed from the equation. It sounds like backwards talk for theft. I've been skeptical as well, but now I find myself making the same case Grace made to me. I promise you, Bulgaria, you know me. There's no tracing the origin, but look at the labeling. There's no one after it. Bulgaria squints in the moonlight. Dutch, eh? Now I definitely suspect a wee bit of foul play. Oh, let's just say Grace helped it to wash ashore, safely, harmlessly. I lift up a gold bar holding Bulgaria stares. He mimics me, awestruck. Let's say we bring these inside. Good idea. Very good idea. Get it out of the public. What the hell? Are those pinups? I can't tell if she's clothed or if that's a boa and she's nude. I can't tell. I guess just in case I'll blur it. I don't know. We spent the night stowing the gold underneath the pub's back room flooring in a makeshift dirt cellar, where Bulgaria stores his most expensive whiskeys and photos of scantily clad celebrities. As we clandestinely lug each of the glittering bars, I can't help but think that these mere pieces of metal, albeit precious, but only metal, are what give men freedom, power, and life. Unfortunately, that is how the world works. I fucking hate it, but that is apparently how the world works. But it also leads to wars, fighting, terror, control, and domination. Exactly. Today, this gold brings everlasting financial freedom for many of us here in Agnakraj. Is that all there is to it? To life? To finding or being given, or of course working tirelessly for, these small ingots? But then I look at Bulgaria and his mischievous grin and remember that money can't purchase friends, real friends. Ones who have two shoulders for you to lean on without payment. Exactly. Money can't buy true happiness, and money can't buy people. If you people are around you just because you have money, they're not true friends. They're just using you for your money. If they're there because of it's you, then they're good people to keep. But if their people are just using you for the money you have, that's just straight toxicity. The same thing in relationships. If you're just in a relationship because someone has money, that's not a good relationship. That's not fair for you or them. I mean, seriously. And again, I don't understand how this game brings out so much philosophical crap. I don't think that's one of the reasons why you guys like this is because of it sends me on these little rants and tangents. But I can't help myself. This is such an amazing game, and it's got such good values. One who carries whiskey around as casually as a pocket watch. With the final bar laid in place, Bulgaria pulls out a whiskey bottle, takes a huge swig, then passes it to me to follow suit. We're rich! So we are. The liquid burns the toast to ignite the passion of affluence. We are indeed rich. But the sensation soon fizzles. The joviality rings hollow when the one who made it all possible is absent from the celebration. Well then, what now? Just leave it to me. Once this bullion's turned to sterling, the Campbells and McLeods shall want for nothing. Thank you, Bulgaria. You're a true friend. More like an accomplice, eh, lad? Well, technically. Oof. Dude, seriously, you gotta stop belting me. He gives me a conspiratorial pat on the back, and I'm glad to know we're in this together. It's a ray of light in this dark well of loneliness in which I've felt trapped. I finally bear to bring up the one member of our cabal not present. You've not asked about Grace. 'Tis not me place to meddle in the affairs of others, unless they ask me to meddle. I guess I want you to meddle, that is. I both want to and don't want to talk about it. Does that make sense? Of course, lad. There are things that happen in our lives that are both unspeakable and unforgettable, and it's just the unforgettable that makes us want to speak of it. Aye, I thought you might understand. But it's not just about what Graceby has become, unforgettably though that may be. Take a deep breath. Do you remember the last time we spoke concerning Cupid's arrow? Wow, that was a while ago. Realization spreads across Bulgare's face. Goodness, lad, you know how to pick 'em. More like Cupid's harpoon, eh? So she's left me. I'm not sure if she's coming back. Bulgare's mirth vanishes. Oh, lad, I'm so sorry. That mermaid's tale oft ends in heartache. I suppose, but I can't shake her from my head. And you needn't let yourself wallow in misery, boy. Oh, needn't let yourself wallow in misery, boy. Whether they spout fins, feet, or flippers. I fucking can't read. This drink is so fucking strong. That's the ladies to do your times. Fucking can't read. I just don't even picture myself not loving her. I know how miserable that makes me sound. Malcolm, they say you can't fall out of love. Never? And also say you can't help who you fall in love with. You can't fall out of love with the ones who broke your heart until someone else comes along to fix the heartbreak. Well, I don't see that happening. Then you'll carry the heartbreak in the same place you carry all the woe you're wont on to hide away. Yeah, I read that right. And there's no pity or shame in that, boy. It sounds as though you speak from experience. Bulgare nods and takes another swig of the whiskey bottle. Aye, that heartache is real in any suffering a man can take, and take it he will. But it lessens. I promise you. So time heals all wounds, eh? I keep hearing that, but how much time am I in for? Time herself doesn't cure the wounds, lad. She makes them so small that you only feel the pain once in a while. That is true as well. I must be giving him an intensely skeptical look. Just let the time pass. Smile when you can, frown when you can't. You're no reason to pretend you're anything than sad, if that's your true emotion. But don't tell her you're happy and come out too. That joy will make an appearance. Let it. It helps ease the burden of the heart. Thank you, Bulgare. I can't tell you how much that... no sentimentals. For me, Campbell, I only wish I'd had someone to spout this nonsense to me when I needed it. It's not nonsense. It's very helpful to know I'm not alone. I know. I just wish I could take the pain away from you. All your gold bars can't even do that. But that's what time will do. Time doesn't get the respect she deserves. That's true as well. Oh, my throat. Time brings you pain and unmanageable darkness. What the hell's in this whiskey? But then she brings you recoverable health. She brings you wisdom. She brings a warmth, a serenity that builds inside you, and you didn't know who you could possess. Oh my God, Bulgare. She can't take it away as quick as she gives it, of course. But sometimes she lets the peace linger. Look at me, blathering like an old mad preacher. You'll have to forgive me for rambling. This is fucking whiskey, lad. This is so good shit. I don't... Still in the Bulgare voice. I don't dare look up as I have tears in my eyes, but then I take pause. I'm not ashamed to be crying. I'd be ashamed not to let my friend know what he means to me. Okay, I'm going to get sentimentals whether you want them or not. I wrap my arms around my friend and begin sobbing into his broad shoulder. Instead of rebuffing me or teasing me, he simply holds me tight with a fierce, humane grip that I've been missing for some time. The embrace of understanding or comprehension of empathy I receive and safety I've been craving. That which I keep telling myself still exists. I relish the seconds that pass while I settle my sobbing down to tears. I try to let him go, but he pulls me in tighter. Whew. Finally, my crying subsides and he loosens his grip. As I let him go, I see the tears in his eyes as well. Aw, big guy. He nods and we set back to work stacking barrels and bottles to conceal the cellar hole. Though though enough has been spoken, enough. Hard work is to be treated with equal respect to our friendship and our compassion, and there's plenty of work still ahead for both of us. I wipe my eyes as my heartbeat slows back down. He's right that there is no amount of gold that can heal suffering, but there's also no amount that could buy such a good friend. But I'll happily give him all the gold he deserves. Okay, there's 1 day, 2 days, 3, maybe more. Ugh. Bulgaria's right. Each day that passes is a little less morose than the last. The small solace isn't enough to fill the void Grace left in my heart. It's been a fortnight since I last saw her. I know because I've made small notches behind my bed, acting like some sort of prisoner. I've told myself I'll give up after a month passes, but who knows? The world keeps on turning. The sunrise still comes too early and still sets in the same manner. There's no end to work to keep my hands and mind busy. Today I've taken to mucking stalls and reassembling the stones that have already loosened in the sheepfold. Following 2 heavy storms, simply work to calm a restless soul. As I lay the stones back in place and start to smear wet dirt and sod in between the layers, I turn my head away from the sun's rays, and I just quietly urge tells me to stop, to look up again. Oh, I got a chill on that one. Oh, that was cool. I raise my head to seize my gaze. The glare hits harder, and then my heart stops. It isn't just a glare. It's a beacon. My heart leaps to my throat. I tell myself I don't have a choice. I've waited so long. Imagine this moment, and here it is. I must go. I take off in a full sprint, running straight toward the lock. When I arrive, panting, sweating, heart ready to leap from my chest, I see our beacon assembled and no signs of its erector. The beach is quiet. There's nary even a ripple on the lock's surface. It must be Grace, but where is she? I want her. Despite any solace I've given myself in her absence, I need her back. Malcolm? It's but a whisper, but it carries through the wind in my ear. My heart flips. I scan the beach and up and down again. Grace? Where are you? Her voice returns solemn and hoarse, as if softly expressing an apology and a bellowed but weakened call for my approach. It was a struggle to come to shore. Follow the sound of my voice. Well, it kind of makes sense. You have no arms and legs. You're just a giant fish. I do as I'm told, finding myself hopping from stone to stone further out into the loch. At last I reach the end of the tiny archipelago. Grace? Like a periscope emerging from the hidden depths, Grace slowly raises her head above. We are reunited. Malcolm? I've never seen her look so timid. Part of me worries that any wrong move will make her dive away again, forever out of my sight. My first words to her are a plea. Please, Grace, you needn't hide from me. I've missed you. I'm keen to see you again. All of you. I expect her to emerge with the same fervor I'm used to seeing. A toss of her wet hair, a shake of her hips. Instead, Grace rises out of the water deliberately, gracefully, with barely a sound. Her long neck winds its way up up and up, some more until the last of the top of her broad body becomes to the surface. It's the body of a goddess, a titan. She gives off the air of someone who is so celestial that she truly may not be meant for this world. Another time I'd have eagerly wrapped my arms around her in an embrace. Part of me wants nothing more. The Grace floats just out of reach. Oh, God, it's a distance between us that neither of us are prepared to breach. The tension, both physical and emotional, is too risky to break, lest it rupture into an open chasm and leaves us unable to ever reach each other again. I knew you'd come back. I've wanted you so badly, I've been waiting. So sorry. It was time for me to go. There was an urge within me I couldn't quell, and I was scared. You scared me. Your reaction. Even under dull skies and the blue hue of her skin, I can see her turn red. It's a statement, not an accusation, but it hurts nonetheless. A hurt that goes both ways. You left me. To die. I stopped myself. Is there really how I want to woo her back, to get her to stay here with me? I don't have the heart to tell her I almost drowned. What good would that do? The last thing she ever needs is more blame placed on her. There's plenty of blame for the both of us. I know. I spent days waiting for this moment, imagining all the words I would say to her. Admonition, conciliation, pleas, declarations of love. Yet no words passed my lips. Where do I begin? What can I say to make things right? Some things you just can't. Oh, quit giving me choices, man! God, this one is insane! You were here, that's what matters. You were here, that's all that matters. I see Grace's face drop and I feel my own do the same. I can't stay. What? Don't say that. You only just returned. Let's take some time to... Malcolm, don't. My mouth closes mid-sentence, though I'm uncertain what I said wrong. I came back so I could say goodbye. Feels as though a rug was just pulled out from beneath my feet. What do you mean, Grace? This is your home. Your home, Malcolm. I've never felt at home here. In another life, maybe. I've adapted, but not now. Not after all that's happened. What about your sister? What about me? Beginning to wonder if those closest to Grace's means anything to her anymore. She shakes her towering head and turns away. Malcolm, this hurts me more than you can know. But look at me, please. She flails her tail before shoving it back underwater. I'm giant. I have a tail the size of a whale's. This fishbowl of a loch is way all too small. I feel trapped. It's like being in a narrow cave. Grim memories rise to the surface. What a trench. See, you do understand. It's all so confining, so tight, so... Now where do you belong? My words come out slowly, begrudgingly. We've trod this road before, and it's never led to Grace's departure, not permanently. What's changed? The answer I realize is right in front of me. Grace has changed. Grace keeps changing, and this dilemma will never be resolved as long as she stays. There's nothing about the loch that feels familiar and comforting anymore. Not when I know all that's waiting for me is just beyond the horizon. And not enough to keep you here. It's not about what you can't give me. It's what life here you can't give me. You're everything to me, but I can't be pinned in here. Not any longer. I deserve freedom just as much as you do. What if I don't want to be free from you? Not yet. Even as I say the words, I know it's not my decision to make. Malcolm, I never, ever imagined falling in love. I never knew it would be as great as it is painful. I would never give up on us if I thought it could work. But here we are. The bridge between our worlds has become too great to simply walk across. It could be a lie to tell you I thought I could do it, no matter how much I wish I could. Think, we could never share a home, trips to the market, the pub, cooking, eating, sleeping together. It would all prove impossible. Love is more than those things. Oh God, here we go. What is love when the two lovers are always apart? Longing, Malcolm. Endless longing. I don't want you waiting on the shore, pining after an absent girl when you could... What? Be happy here alone? And what about you, alone at sea? Won't you miss having someone to talk to? I know how loneliness can become all-consuming, even with people nearby. I'm disputing fate now. There's no point other to find a shred of hope, a whisper of doubt in her mind to convince her to stay, even just a bit longer. I'm a solitary creature, Malcolm. You were the only one to break through my walls, and for that, I'm eternally grateful. What if that means we were meant for each other? Who knows? Maybe there are others out there like me. If I keep searching, maybe one day I'll find a friend. If not a true love. I scuttle what we already have. The ocean is empty and vast, even for a talented swimmer like you. I know I took my time out there alone. I understand myself now. What I need and what I can't have. Me. It's never been about me not wanting you, Malcolm. But look at me. Realistically, I have to leave. Without me. Ankh-Nakraj isn't my home. Neither am I. You'll always be my home, but one I shall return to, not one where I live forever. My heart breaks into a million shattered pieces. I try to fight back tears, but now, no, the time has come. This will be a goodbye no matter how hard I plead. What if I beg you to stay? No, please. It'll hurt us both even more. I realize I've turned cold again, shivering all over. How does this seem so easy for her? What if I can't live without you? Malcolm, don't ever say that. Or even think it. You're not living just for me. You're living. You lived before me. You'll live after. But it feels that way every day, Grace. You're all I want to think about. I want you near me, with me. You want love, support, but you also want other things I can't give you. It's not true. You do give me love and all the support I've ever needed. I abandoned you. You took off after I insulted you. I argue in futility. Most of me knows she's right, but I want to continue to talk in circles. I want to hear her voice, see her beautiful face. I want her by me. No, I sense it, Malcolm. I won't keep saying I'm not enough, but I'm not exactly what will bring you a life, long happiness. I'm just not. Don't you see? I will never find anyone like you. No one who understands me like you do. I can never find a person who loves me more than you do. I let her statement settle into my heart, knowing that could be true for either of us. And what does it mean? That we both shall be alone for the rest of our lives? I'm making this decision for both of us, for my independence and yours. Free of the longing and to change each other. To try and make it work in ways it never will. I don't want to be your only dream, Malcolm. I want you to have dreams other than being taken from your home, your grand, only to be with someone so different, so unable to fulfill your needs. It's not fair, any of it. Your dreams come true and both of our hearts get broken. Not all of my dreams. I know that now. This is unfair to both of us. I guarantee you that you'll find everything you love about me in another person. I promise you, you'll find the person that was meant for you. I'll be the one stuck in the ocean of oversized beasts who can't compare with you. I shake my head in desperate denial. She's not real. The imaginary woman you've created for me. You're real. You're the love I need, I still want. There is me, Grace. There is you, Malcolm. But there is no... Don't say it, please. This is it. This is the end of us. I know myself, Malcolm. I am who and what I am finally meant to be. Having 2 legs, walking around on hard surfaces, that's never made me complete. The sea is what's keeping us from being together. I said that with Grace's voice. The sea is what's keeping us from being together. No, us needing very different things, that's what's separating us. You say you need the sea, but I need you. So in turn, I need the sea. I'm sorry, I am. I've never been more sorry about anything in my life. I need you too, Malcolm. And on my journey, I'll only have you in my heart, in my mind, not in my arms. The tears stream from her eyes, and I can finally see how my clinging to her is hurting her fiercely. I have to let go. I don't want you to ever think you've hurt me. You never have. I'm hurting both of us by clutching on so tightly to the hope that we can live some magical fairy tale existence. And I'm the one who is sorry. Don't carry any guilt about anything. I want you to have freedom from pain, guilt, and shame. I want the same for you. Oh, come on! Oh, God, I can't not unsee it. Oh, guys. At last, she leans over. The water separates us, the distance so small and yet so vast. I wrap my arms around her and cry. God, I want to cry. Jesus Christ. Ugh. Grace's her scales are slick and covered from the sea and our mingling tears. This embrace, the one I was to give her on our return. On her return, it was meant to be a reunion, not a farewell. When is the next time I will feel her skin against mine? The warmth of her heartbeat. Is this to be the last? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Ooh. Ah, that sucks. And he's wearing her sash. Oh, come on, guys. That is oof. My heart. My reluctance to let go has a similar hold on the day I was discharged. This freedom, a release, but with a cost. Where was I to go? What was I to become? What was the world, if not in combat, with the camaraderie of my fellow soldiers? Under orders and commands I had lived for years, or for 4 years, in one day solitude, my feet walking mechanically towards home, as if I even understood what home meant. Grace and I are not meant to be, and what scares me the most isn't being alone, it's losing the identity I placed in being a couple, and having a friendship I do desperately needed and wanted. I will mourn the loss of our friendship more than anything else. That fuck up. This moment I wish would last forever comes to an end as Grace gently pulls away. This is for the best. You don't really believe that, do you? Desperation in her voice matches that which aches inside my chest. No, not at all. But I have to convince myself it's true, or else I'll go mad leaving you behind. As it is, I wonder about you all day, every day. I quiet my thoughts by swimming endlessly, trying to find solace in the idea that I'm where I belong, in the wide expanse of the sea. Oh, is that real? Being comforted by the open space? The openness is my safety. Having nothing around me gives me such much comfort as a warm blanket in front of a fireplace. I picture her sailing through the current, surrounded by the vast emptiness of the ocean, and wonder if that absence of stability, of solid ground, could ever soothe me the same way. But I know deep down that there's no point in imagining such a foolish dream. She will go and I will remain here. That finality, the reality of being left by myself, is digging a well into my soul. One I know I cannot be filled, even with time. This is our goodbye. A real one? I won't let it be forever. Beacon will always be here for you for... Start to say us, then stop myself. For as long as you want it to be. My arms begin to reach out once more, but I can't bear another tearful embrace. Instead, I place my hands on my waist. Before you go, I still have something of yours. I wipe my tears away and tug the sash around my hips, the one I've been kept with me since she left, until it slips loose. I thought I'd lost this. Grace takes the yellow cloth and holds it in front of us, looking at it curiously. Even though I never knew my mother, I like to imagine she was a kind-hearted woman. That had she lived, she might have been every bit as the selfless, caring presence I was missing in my life. I wore mother's sash each day to keep the peace of her close to me. With her fingered flippers, Grace gingerly tears off a small square. Here, take this. She fumbles, placing a patch of the silk to her lips, and giving it a wet kiss, and tucked it into my coat lapel. Oh, Grace. Now you'll always have a piece of me, if you want it. I'll always want a piece of me. That look. A reminder of you near me. That's so fucking cute. Oh, God damn it, you guys. Grace smiles, craning her neck out to plant a small peck atop my head. Nearly kills me with a bittersweet sadness. Aww. She wraps the remaining cloth around her neck like a scarf, and it looks longingly out to sea. Sensing her departure is at hand, I keep talking. Anything to delay saying farewell. Where's your sister? Should we give Marion a keepsake too? Sis is playing a lemon meat pie. My seashell collection is still stuffed into every nook and cranny of her home. Her laughter is as welcome as it is ill-suited to the moment. You know she'll miss you. Seashell's hoard and all. I know. I tracked down Douglas this morning and had him bring Marion to the lock to say our goodbyes. If my reunion with Grace was tearful, Marion's must have been a veritable faucet of weeping. Poor Marion. She must have been stricken with grief. Just so. Once she came to, she still doesn't handle these physical changes very well. Thank goodness transformations don't run in your family. Aye, father would be horrified, even enough to learn just one of his daughters grew a tail. That's why Marion agreed it would be best if I leave sooner than later. Grace's ears droop and she won't meet my eye. There's something unnerving about seeing a powerful entity look worried. You see, Marion received a letter from father. Is Owen? Is he still overseas? For how little news the McLeod sisters had received, part of me was wondering if their father survived the war. He's on his way home soon. Is all it said. We don't know when the letter was sent. My sisters. Grace turns back to me with a sudden earnest look in her eye. Go to Marion. She needs comfort. The kind I can't offer her. And who knows, maybe you'll find comfort yourself from a kindred soul. If I didn't know better, I'd think Grace was trying to set me up. the way she did her sister and Douglas, Grace knows Marion is spoken for, right? Well, misery does love company. We go quiet and I sink deeper into my well of despair. I don't know what else to say, what else needs to be said. Grace looks towards the entrance of the lock. I wonder if she's feeling the same apprehension I felt on the day I embarked on my great adventure to serve overseas. All of a sudden I recall the detail of my departure, long since unremembered. It's so surprising, it startles a laugh out of me. What is it? Do you know who the last person I spoke to was before I enlisted? The person who sent me off to the edge of town before my grandfather drove me away on the wagon? No? Who? It wasn't Grand or my parents, or even Bogat. It was you. Me? How's that possible? I was so young I barely knew you. I'd nearly forgotten about it until now. It was buried in a blur of memories from that morning. Painful memories, ones I don't like to dwell on. Most of the other lads had already departed. I said goodbye to everyone who left who knew who I knew. Then started down the path leading out of Auchnacrege. You came running as fast as you could. So no, I do remember it. It was just another time I messed up. I promised you that you didn't. But I did. Marion sent Jesse back to give Father a tin of biscuits. She knew Jesse ran the fastest, but the two of us raced and I pushed Jesse down. I was trying to reach Father first to win. So, I didn't know that part. Father had already left. I was the last soldier there. He gave the tin to me. Grace burst into tears. I was so relieved Father was already gone. I didn't want him angry at me. I didn't want him to have those biscuits. Grace, you poor thing, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. I just wanted you to know how much it meant to me. Even if it was unintentional, you really touched my heart. Even then, even without trying. I began to tear up again as well. When I left back then, I didn't know if I would return. I didn't know if home would be there if I did make it back. But I did come home. Home was there. Know your home will always be here, too. Even if it's not the one you want or need. It's here. My heart is here. Marion's, Grand's. Our hearts will always be with you. Thank you, Malcolm. That means more to me than you will ever know. Grace takes a deep breath, closes her eyes, then begins to slip beneath the waves. Wait. Saw me off then. Let me see you off now. Yeah, don't hide yourself. I secure the sails and check the rigging one last time. Everything seems to be shipshape. It's finally time to put the work we put into the Kelpie to the test. The splash of the line I throw to Grace lands in the water. She takes the rope between her jaws and begins to swim and pull. The hull grinds slowly against the gravel as if reluctant to leave its comfortable shoreline perch. At last, it settles into the water with a sigh. I raise the sails, and with a flap they catch the light breeze. The Kelpie comes alive beneath my feet, picking up speed and slicing through the water with ease. Oh my god! It's just how I pictured our inaugural voyage. The wind in my hair, the tranquility of the open lock, Grace appearing and disappearing alongside with each stroke. If only it were under different circumstances. Together we glide to the mouth of the lock in silence, save for the sound of Grace's splashes. The open ocean extends before us in every direction, an endless sea of gray stretching to the horizon and beyond. Compared to the shores behind us, it seems So stark. So empty. So lonely. Hello! So this is it. I think so. I'm ready. With a heavy heart, I nod. My eyes burn from the salt air and sorrow, so I squeeze them shut. I don't even know if I can bear to watch Grace disappear. Please, don't cry, Malcolm. You're gonna make me tear up again. Your tears will dry, Grace. Or be swept away. You'll be happier out at sea. And what about me? Try to put a little laugh into the question. It still sounds heavier than I intended. What will I do next? Grace wipes her eyes with her wet fins. Please, go see Marion. She needs all the support she can get right now. I smirk wanly and shake my head. I was thinking more about what to do with the rest of my life. You can do whatever you please. You have a chest full of gold now. And why do I feel so destitute? With a sigh, Grace reaches up and puts a fin on my shoulder. I flinch under her touch, a touch I can no longer have. Find what you love, Malcolm. Not just who to love. If you have dreams, even small ones, or inconceivable ones, chase them. Your own life is the one you have to put first. Internally, I scoff at her, but I know I'm only jealous that she's found or been handed a dream of which I can't conceive. Sometimes my only dream besides you is a warm bed and a hot meal. I guess I should have loftier goals. Not if they're not meaningful. I promise you, Malcolm, if you find what your heart is truly after, you'll latch onto it and dream that dream and soar. Soar. It's not wings I'm after. Right now I wish I had fins and gills. I will wish for the same. Bye, Malcolm. Be safe. Visit often. I love you. I love you too. Oh my god! The quiet sound of lapping waves is overpowered by the ringing in my ears. She's gone. Oh my god. Oh, new almanac entry. That's cool. Sad but cool. God, you guys, what the hell? The other ones are so happy and cheerful. Why is this one so depressing? I don't know how much is left, but I have to end the episode here. I've gone way over time. Oh my god. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the thumbs up button. If you cried a little, hit the thumbs up button. Oh my god, that was just insane. Oh, it's not over yet, I don't think. I don't know how much more there is. Come on. This is I'm on chapter. Yeah, I don't have it yet. Oh god, there are two. Oh god, catch or release. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no. Okay, well, there's much more to go. I don't know how much more of that particular one we got to go, but I know I've still got one more branch to do on that. That was heavy. That was insane. This is the most intense chapter out of all the girls. This is like the most heartfelt, the most punch you in the gut with feelings that I've ever felt. This is insane. I love this game to bits, and I just constantly just love it. There's nothing not to love about this game. So, I urge you guys, go check it out. It's on Steam. It doesn't cost that much. Support these guys with every bit you can do, because this game is just so damn good. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this little bit longer episode of Changeling Tale. That being said, though, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Hey, and peace. What's up?